Good evening, Bong and Batch 96. Before answering the questions, I would like to thank you for this project that you have. I believe it will inspire our co-alumni and also our students, the students of Manila Science. Um, Thank you for giving me the privilege to be part of this project. Your first question is my what's my happiest moment at Manila Science and why? Well, my first enrollment day was the happiest moment in my Manila Science life, Masai life, because I was overwhelmed by the joy my father and mother had when they accompanied me to school during my first enrollment day. They were so happy and proud because of the privilege and opportunity to study at Masai and be part of a unique club of students who will have the best education that my parents could afford, and the chance to a learning experience that will open doors of opportunity in my career and higher education. So there was prestige to it. At the same time, there was responsibility of doing well in my in school. I had a feeling, exhilarating feeling of joy and that my parents were happy, and making them happy was important to me because I loved them and they loved me. Another reason why I was happy is that it was a start of the chance to make life better for me, my family, and my country. By studying at Manila Science, I knew that doors would be open to me to further my education at a good university. Eventually studied at UP, and to a rewarding career, and to contribute to national development by being an able citizen. So that was my happiest moment. In contrast, what was my saddest day at Manila Science? Well, graduation was my saddest day. On one hand, I was happy because I was going to receive my diploma and I will proceed to UP, and I will be to start a new adventure, and furthering my education and the pursuit of a good career. But on the other hand, I'll be saying goodbye to teachers and classmates that I treasure, memories that I will bring along with me, will be with me, but I wanted to have some more of that experience. People say that high school life is the happiest part of our lives, and I believe that. I subscribe to that. That is true. So I was a little bit teary-eyed. I was barely able to hold back my tears because I'll be saying goodbye to friends that I still want to be with because I have good memories with them. Our camping trips, our games, our swimming trips, our sports. Simple conversations with them, it made me happy. So I was letting go of that experience, but the memories remain with me. And we are a part of a generation, nakahabol kami, that that has the chance to stay connected through Facebook, thanks to Mark Zuckerberg. Because of Facebook, we don't totally lose connection with our friends and teachers when we graduate. That's why through the social media, we were able to keep in touch with our classmates and our teachers. We visited our teachers and we keep in touch. We have these reunions and happy moments. We just once again behave like teenagers as if it was just yesterday when we were in school. And it's a good experience. I hope that all alumni and students get to stay connected, because by doing so we keep the love within our hearts and we are able to help each other. So stay connected with your friends and your teachers even after you have graduated. We should do that. What's the next question? Who is the most influential in your Masai life? How has he or she influenced you? Well, all my teachers, to a certain degree, influenced my life. Many of them positively, none of them negatively. All of them positively, none negative. And I'm very thankful for the experience that they gave me. I've learned math, English, science, and I have learned principles in life by way of their words and their actions. So if I were to tell you who is the most influential, that will be a very difficult choice for me. At least let me name two teachers. I would like to name many, but two, just two. Miss Acelejado inspired me to do better than my own perception of my abilities. She taught me to be confident simply by telling me, I believe you can answer those questions. I had doubts about geometry at that time. I believe you can answer that question, so you have that ability, she told me. You just need to be less magulo, sabi niya sa akin. So, I listened to her, and with that trust that she put in me, in those words of confidence, I had that those encouragements made me feel that confident that I can do it. I was able to do it, and I had good grades in geometry because of her. She taught me that by believing in others, by having faith in what they can do, through that simple conversation, by inspiring others, through that simple conversation, she taught me that you can be a good leader if you believe in others, if you put your confidence in what they can do. So that served me well. Every time I am in a position of leading others or employing someone, I make sure that I put full confidence in what he or she could do. So that, and amazingly, people become what we say they are, what we think they are. They become what we expect them to be. So, Miss Acelejado is one of the most influential teachers that I had, by way of her words. Another teacher, the second one, is also equally inspiring to me. She taught me not by words, but by action. You see, when we were in high school, that was my first year at Curie. After the flag ceremony, we were automatically supposed to go upstairs and clean our homeroom. So, grudgingly, we would go up because we prefer to exchange conversations and fun before going to class. And the additional responsibility of cleaning the homeroom was something that we wanted to avoid. Miss Abaya, Libertad Abaya, did not use words. to compel us to do what had to be done. But she taught us the responsibility for diligence, uh, voluntarism, not by words but by action. You know what she would do? She would tell us to clean the room, give us our assignments, and after telling us, she wouldn't tell us anything anymore. What she would do if we were not cleaning is she would get the broom or the coconut husk and scrub the floor herself, clean the floor herself. That would be a very embarrassing moment for us because our own teacher will be the one cleaning for us. So immediately we will take the broom away from her and the coconut husk from her and do our responsibility. You see, Miss Abaya taught us that regardless of our position in life, there are times that we have to do things at the lowest level of compensation. In any organization, ganun, di ba? The manager is not supposed to clean the floor. The manager is not supposed to do clerical work because that will be more expensive for the organization. But there are also times when we have to do our own chores, regardless of our position in the hierarchy, in the organizational echelon, or regardless of our economic or social status. It did not matter whether you are rich or poor in Manila Science. You had to clean the room. It doesn't matter. It did not matter whether I came by jeep and the others came by car. Some walked. Some came by car, but it did not matter. We all had to clean the room. So the responsibility of diligence belonged to everyone, and that is what Miss Abaya taught us. Whether you're in a position of authority or in a position of service, whatever your role is, there are times that you have to take part in the responsibility of diligence. They were the most influential in my Masai life, Miss Aselhado and Miss Abaya. I still remember their names, Maxima Aselhado and Liberty Abaya. And the lessons that they taught me by way of the example and the words are still in my mind and in my heart. And I do my best to live by those lessons that I've learned from them. The next question is, how are you shaking and shaping the world today? When I was in my latter years in Masai, I realized that studying at Masai were opening doors for me. Doors of opportunity to further my education, to study in a good university, to further go into a career that will be rewarding for me in terms of fulfillment and in terms of income. That was important to me because I came from a position of means of humble means. So I realized that I could have a good job, I could start a business someday, and I could be studying in a good university. I could take my master's, graduate studies afterwards. And I realized that Manila Science was opening those doors for me because, when you're from Manila Science, you will be admitted to almost any school in the Philippines, even in the US. Some of my classmates went to the US and studied there. I still remember Vicente. He's in Caltech. And, these doors were open to me, and I said, I should do something in return someday. Maybe I said to myself, I will open a school that will have this similar effect on students that I have. Someday, because of education, they will have a good job, a rewarding career, and they'll be able to contribute to national development. So I said to myself, someday I will start a school, open businesses that will employ people, and will provide value for stakeholders. And the amazing thing about life is the things that you manifest in your mind and say with your words become reality. I was able to start several businesses. Some of them successful, others failed. But in general, it had a good effect on society, or they had a good effect on society. And I was able to start a school, technical vocational school that trained call center agents. I would estimate around 15,000 agents. No, not 15, but yeah, something like that, because it was over a 10-year period, 10, 12 years. I worked to start that business, that school, without pay for 10 years because I wanted the dream to become reality. And it had a good influence on so many lives. Many are now call center agents, technical support agents, because of that school. So we as graduates of Manila Science should keep on contributing to national development by developing the youth, and not so young, to be productive workers, entrepreneurs, employees, who will add to the gross national product and help our country become a productive nation that will, in general, provide a better life for Filipinos. What's the next question? So the question I answered was how has your being a Masayan contributed to who you are today? Yeah. That was not the question. Sorry. How are you shaking and shaping the world today? In addition to that, to my answer, it has become part of my mission to contribute to national development by empowering the youth to be productive members of society. And that's through a school and through businesses. It remains my mission in life. In fact, I should be retired by now, but I am teaching at the Pamantasan ng Lungsod ng Maynila. I'm giving back to the city of Manila for what it has given to me through Manila Science High School. I am now teaching students at the College of Business several undergraduate and graduate subjects. And I empower them with skills about business. But also there's a blend of empowerment by giving them life lessons about volunteerism, about helping others, about contributing to national progress. These simple lessons through stories are very powerful. So I inject them into my lectures whenever I have the chance. And it has inspired many of them to contribute, to work harder, to serve in government, and others to do their best in whatever organization they are in. So that's how I am shaking and shaping the world today. When I was in Singapore, uh, the trip from the airport to my destination was a 20-kilometer trip. And along the way, I would see hundreds of ships on the left side of the bay, on the left side on the bay, and on the right side, again, so many skyscrapers. And I said, someday, Rojas Boulevard will be like this. And it's coming true. We have a flourishing trade despite the pandemic. It will continue. There are skyscrapers along Ross Boulevard to my right, to the right, and to the left. You will see ships docking at the harbor. And I believe the way we can do that is to empower our youth to be productive. There is research that there is a direct correlation between the proportion of the budget for education to the GNP of any country, of a country. Countries that have a very high GNP also have a very high budget for education. So, the progress of any nation is dependent also on how it takes care of its youth. So we should all take care of our youth. That is what I believe in, and that is how I am contributing. Pasensya na kayo, medyo dadamihan ko yung sasagutin. Kung ano na lang yung mapili ninyo. Ito, maganda rin yung tanong na to eh. How has your being a Masayan contributed to who you are today? Well, I used to tell this to my classmates or to my co-alumni. Alam mo, maswerte tayo, nag-aaral tayo sa Manila Science. Bakit? Ang daming problems. Problem solving. You see, during our years at Manila Science, and perhaps in yours, and every graduate's or student's life in Manila Science, problem solving was a big part of our lives. We solved math problems in several math subjects, and we solved science projects. And they were not easy. They were difficult, being college level, far too advanced for a young teenager who was just into high school. But we were expected to solve them and brilliantly defend them on the board the next day. They were difficult, but we had to try. For fear of embarrassment among our peers, and because our teachers had this equitable balance between confidence in us and requiring us, challenging us to solve difficult problems. And you know, it served us well. It served us well because we were trained. It has become ingrained in our character to be problem solvers. No matter how difficult, no matter how long it took, we would burn the midnight lamp and try to solve the problem for the next day. And we had to come to class at 7 a.m. That was not easy. That was taxing to the mind and to our physical energy. Not to mention our self-confidence. When we solved them, we made mistakes. They were corrected. We made lesser mistakes to a point that we were very proficient at problem solving. We had confidence and we had pride that we can do things that much older people are expected to do in college. In fact, when I was in UP, we were studying the same books and solving the same problems. Imagine, we were expected to perform at the level of a UP student in math. That served us well because we were trained to be problem solvers regardless of our qualification or experience. We had the confidence that we can solve anything as long as we invest the right amount of time and energy and patience at that. And so, when I observe my classmates, they can be in any industry. They can be in education, banking, in the army, in construction as an architect, you know. It can be in any industry, and they were succeeding. They were becoming leaders and heads of offices or organizations. Some were successful entrepreneurs. One even became a general, 3-star at that. So, and many were very successful doctors. And my theory is that's because of problem solving. We were trained to be problem solvers. I have this classmate named Mirna. Sabi niya sa akin, kahit ano daw ibigay sa problema sa akin ng kahit anong problema ibigay sa akin ng boss ko sa bangko, hindi ko sinasabing hindi ko kaya at hindi ko magagawa. Lagi ko sinasabi, sige sir, pag-aaralan ko kung paano magagawa. And every time, because of her training at Masai, she was able to solve those problems. Naging senior vice president yata ng isang malaking bangko. Senior lang. Retired na ngayon, maaga nag-retire. Kasi mayaman na. But the thing is, you know, problem solving, yun ang one of the best contributions of Manila Science to our character. The tenacity to take responsibility for a problem and its solution, and to implement or execute that solution. Hindi natin yung tinatanong kung kaya ba o hindi. Hindi na, ganun tayo, di ba? Hindi natin tinatanong yun. Tinatanong natin paano masusunod. That was because of calculus, integral calculus, differential calculus, linear programming, abstract algebra, those subjects that are far too difficult for a high school student. So thank you, Manila Science, for those problems that you gave us. No matter how drained we were afterwards. What is the significance of Batis ng Diwa to you? Well, to me, Batis ng Diwa describes Masai as a spring well, a deep source of experiences that build knowledge, skills, and character. Tulad nga nung una kong example, just like my first example about problem solving. And there are other experiences that teach us in a way that we enter the halls of Manila Science as empty vessels and live as empowered individuals, confident, with knowledge and skills to solve problems, and with an attitude of expecting success in our lives. We don't feel that we cannot do things, but we feel that we can achieve, and we can contribute. So, to me, that Batis is a very important word. Very important word. because we become empowered with a unique set of skills and knowledge to go for opportunities and create a better life for ourselves, for our families, and our country. I've also noticed that many Manila Science, I think all, have a strong sense of nationalism. Maybe it's because part of that bodies builds a sense of gratitude in us. You know, you take so much, you take so much, you take so much. So many blessings from your school. And you would want to give back. You want to give back to your community. You want to give back to the youth. You want to give back to the citizens of Manila. Citizens, even the citizens of the Philippines and beyond, you know. You want to give back because you've received so much. Maybe it's human nature. Because we have had so many privileges given us, we want to give back. Many Manila Science graduates are like that. They have a sense of serving back, of giving back in their professions in many ways that they could. Some are in education, others are in health services, others are in construction, others are in government. Many, almost all, want to give back. So Manila Science, thank you for giving us that sense of gratitude because of the many, many wonderful things that we have experienced and learned at Manila Science. In return, we want to give back. We value the gift of that experience and take the responsibility to make our families happy and to contribute to nation building, and to contribute to nation building. And to make life better for everyone. Okay, I think the last question is, tell me about your best friend. Ang dami kong best friend. Ang dami kong barkada. I had so many friends when I was in high school. So, it would be hard to choose a best friend. Sino ba pipiliin ko? Yung mga barkada kong lalaki, yung mga kaibigan kong babae, yung mga barkada kong lalaking kasama ko sa mga kalukuhan, kaibigan kong babae na kasama ko sa pag-aaral, o yung mga kaklase ko na hinahangaan ko at ginagaya ko. I have so many friends with whom I enjoyed music, sports, entertainment, fun and games, or simple conversations. Activities that most teenagers enjoy today. And I have friends in Masai who are simply the best because they were there for each other when they were needed most. What do I mean? My father, a lawyer, who loves to quote in Tagalog, mga kasabihan, used to tell me that, alam mo anak, madaling makasama ang isang kaibigan sa hapagkainan ng kasayahan. He was referring to a party. Or anything that's fun. Activity that's fun. Madali raw yun eh. Because fun attracts company. And he would continue. Ngunit yung matatagpuan, ang tunay na kaibigan, sa oras ng matinding pangangailangan. You'll find a true friend in times of great need. His words describe many of my friends in Manila Science. They are so reliably helpful. Whenever somebody needs help, they would be there. I would say I describe them as my treasured friends in Manila Science. To that effect, almost all my friends are my best friends. Almost all my classmates are my best friends. I will not mention names anymore so as not to embarrass anyone. But I will tell you this. We found help among each other in our times of pressing needs. All my friends at Manila Science were my best friend. So my message to everyone is, thank you for being my friend. I will always treasure you as long as I live. So Bong and Batch 96, you're also my friends. Bong is one of my best friends. I hope that I have contributed in a way that will make life better for the alumni and the students of Manila Science, and even for the faculty. And I thank you all, everyone, without exclusion, everyone, totally, everyone individually and collectively, all of you, without exception. I thank you for the life that I have shared with you. And I thank God that I have you in my life. And every one of you without exception, individually and collectively. I love you all the way God loves you. Thank you for being in my life.